Protect and serve.
Welcome back. It needs some refinement, but I think we can consider my serum a qualified success.
This is a qualified success?
There were some side effects to the process. I seem to have hair again, and I've retained some muscle mass. The genetic resequencer needs more work. Still, I take your point. This is a significant advance, but only for one strain of FEV. It will take years, perhaps decades, to generalize my formula. Still, you have my gratitude. You're welcome to make use of my lab. Or help yourself to any of this junk if you want it. In the meantime, I have a lot of experiments to run. Excuse me.
Protect and serve.
Reporting is ordered, Elder.
Before we continue, I want to make one thing clear. This conversation will be the last time we speak about Dance. As far as the Brotherhood of Steel is concerned, he's dead. Do you understand?
Of course. The Brotherhood must come first.
Perhaps there's hope for you yet. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
Where did Dance keep his power armor?
I'm certain you can find it in Proctor Ingram's section of the ship. Wear it with pride. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
System deltas at 100%. Secondary deltas standing by.
Captain Kells.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Dance has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
Do you think Dance's execution was justified?
It's quite obvious Dance was a traitor, or at the very least, a turncoat in the making. That machine's presence was endangering this ship and its crew, so it needed to be dealt with, swiftly and without mercy. Your actions in this matter were not only justified, they were vital to our mission. With all of that behind us, we can shift our focus back to our wartime preparations.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat: the Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Why is the railroad such a threat?
Even with their relatively small numbers, the railroad is a constant threat to our operations. They've already proven to be resilient against superior forces, with a knack for disappearing when cornered. Worse still, they possess the capability to help synths flee the Institute. If we intend to end the synth menace, we need to plug the leaks. Destroying the railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Do they all have to die?
Absolutely. It's the only effective way of ensuring that they're no longer a threat. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on PAM's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Prydwen. I'm certain we could put PAM's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. We wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Anything useful you can tell me about Pam?
We have very little information on it. Its primary function is supposed to be using mathematical calculations in order to predict future events. I have no idea how successful it was, but if the railroad's been using Pam for this long, it's got to be providing them with some sort of benefit. I'm sure Proctor Quinlan would be pleased to have it in his possession.
I think that should be sufficient information to assist you on the mission, Paladin. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Try and get Pam back here in one piece, okay?
Efficiency. Let's do this. Bring in the bay. If you want, this is a joke. Find anything useful on him? Dressed yet?
Blackbird spotted. Badly injured. Way too many hostiles for the runner to engage. Request assistance from HQ.
Come back here, damn it. What the? Got company! Kill from me. Brotherhood is here. Lock and load. Need backup. Get up. Surprise assault. Area secure. We can win.
Detonation pack secured and ready, sir.
Bring in the pain. Last mistake you'll ever make.
We've got trouble.
Feeling eyes on the back. My bullets.
What?
Safety off. Look alive, everyone. Come on. Where at? Do things around here.
Pam,
Security mode enabled. Voice interface is unavailable at this time.
Captain,
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
those sympathizers deserved exactly what they got.
That they did.
I'm also dismayed that you were unable to recover Pam for the Brotherhood. It was an amazing piece of pre-war technology that could have proved quite beneficial to us.
Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
Humans all look funny.
I've never been the hammer and nails sort of guy.
Know if there's anything I can do to lighten the load. Do you need anything, Fred?
Attention all personnel. I'm disappointed I need to address this, but unsanctioned social contact with Commonwealth natives is strictly prohibited.
Your promotion was well deserved.
Anyone who is engaged in such fraternization should report to Night Captain Cade for immediate decontamination. That is all.
Welcome aboard, brother.
You look like you've been through the ringer, Paladin. Can't say that I blame you. That was a hell of a business with Dance. Can't even imagine having to look him in the face and pull the trigger.
Believe me, it wasn't easy.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm sorry you had to be the one to handle the dirty work. Anyway, we need to move on to more important things now. Like getting Liberty Prime off of life support. We've been feeding him power through the Pridwin's engines, but there isn't nearly enough juice to cold start his fusion reactor. That's why we need you to find us a beryllium agitator.
How can the beryllium agitator start up his reactor?
If Prime's reactor is a campfire, the beryllium agitator is like a match. Strike it, throw it on the logs, and the whole thing ignites. Fusion reactors need a massive power surge in order to get the reaction started. Once it starts, it's self-sustaining. I'm sure I could get one of my scribes to bore you to death with the details, but you get the gist.
And I'm betting you know right where to find it.
Of course I do. I didn't become head of ship maintenance just because of my good looks, you know? Quinlan dug up some dirt on a company called Mass Fusion. They were a power utility company before the world went belly up. The CEO was some kind of an inventor. Dreamed up all sorts of nuclear power toys. The agitator was his crown jewel. Records show he was working on it in his lab at the top of their high-rise in the financial district. That's where we're headed. Hope you don't mind a little company, because I'm coming with you.
We don't need her. She'll just get in the way.
Why would you want to go?
Are you kidding me? Mass fusion was on the cutting edge of atomic technology. And considering there hasn't been much in the way of engineering advancements lately, that makes it a goddamn gold mine. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity like that.
It would be helpful if you tagged along.
I knew you'd see it my way. Kells has a vertibird on standby, waiting to drop us off on the roof of the mass fusion tower. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. If the Institute finds out the agitator's there, they'll do everything they can to keep it out of our hands.
Unless you like getting radiations.
Roger that, Scabbard. We have clearance for release. You might want to hang on, sir. The drop can be a little rough.
Never could get used to flying in these things.
target sighted on the roof, sir. Prepare to engage. Enemies are crawling all over the place. Send them out before we drop. I'll get us above the roof so you can bail out.
Got it.
Find anything useful, or are you just wasting our time again? Make me poke through all this garbage.
Going down. Explosive charge.
more than a few flight of stairs, I'm gonna be pissed.
Attacking Q.
Institute, you must be destroyed.
Okay, that looked like it hurt.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
This place has seen better days, that's for sure. There, that's done it. Power's back online.
Nice.
We could always drop through here. Might not be as cushy as an escape, right? But at least we'll be headed in the right direction.
Hostile sensor reading detected.
Kill from me.
Is someone present? Under attack.
Movement detected would appear my target route. Disappeared. Engaging hostile platform. Sensors indicating concealed organic life form.
Attacking Q. Calibration.
Institute protocol. Eliminating protocol.
There it is. Mass fusion's reactor. Don't make them like that anymore.
See the big deal.
Radiation levels are dangerously high in there. Let me know if you need any radiation protection. I'll communicate with you through their intercom system while I monitor everything from out here.
Yeah, I think I'll wait up.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
The beryllium agitator should be in a port at the top of the reactor.
swear I heard something.
Please wait. Decontamination complete.
Scanners detecting sentient life. Alert level activated.
Lockdown ended.
The Institute must have sent reinforcements.
Yeah, I didn't think we were just walking out of here with the agitator.
I'll help hold them off. Just make sure you get the agitator out of here.
Is someone present?
Hostile sensitivity detected.
The Institute.
looks like
You
it hurt.
must be destroyed. Detected.
Wrong data. Pick it up. Another victory for the Brotherhood.
We really should just stay out of each other's way.
I was able to keep the Institute from getting their hands on the beryllium agitator.
Glad to see you're still in one piece.
What ended up happening at Mass Fusion?
Thanks to your help, our forces managed to take the building with very little resistance from the synths. We've posted a garrison there, and they'll keep the place under guard for the time being. Anyway, we shouldn't stand around here talking. We've got a lot of work to do. Well, this is it. We've pre-programmed Liberty Prime's battle coordinates into his navigational processor. As soon as he's under his own power, he'll head straight for the Institute. Elder Maxon wants you to follow, and make sure he arrives at the CIT in one piece. I've checked every wire and every bolt on the big guy. All we need to do is plug in the agitator, start Prime's reactor, and cross our fingers.
If this works, how long before Liberty Prime will be ready for battle?
The reaction should be almost instant. He'll be running under his own power in a matter of seconds. Look, I discussed it with Elder Maxon, and we think you should be the one who has the honor of starting Liberty Prime. Just plug the beryllium agitator into his reactor port, then head back down here and press the transfer button. Good luck, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
Look, I'm really busy, and I'm not in the mood to
Fusion
talk.
core reinitialized. Liberty Prime. Full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Mission: the destruction of any and all Chinese communists. Probability of Chinese victory: impossible.
Brotherhood, salute! And Victorium!
Proceeding to target coordinates. Freedom is the sovereign right of every American. Democracy is non-negotiable.
Brotherhood, fall out!
Accessing dictionary database. Entry: communism. A form of government in which the state controls everything, and people are denied freedom. setback on the road to freedom. Scanners operating at 100% efficiency. Defeat is not an option. Obstruction detected. Overland travel target compromised. Probability of mission hindrance 32%. Revised stratagem initiated. Aquatic transit protocol activated. Probability of mission hindrance 0%. Democracy is truth. Communism is death. Anchorage will